There's a sick Caucasian man out there that's going to kill a certain. This is a message only for those with an open mind. So before you take the time to listen, I need you to really concentrate on the truth of this message and the content, not the things that you've been programmed to believe. It all starts with preschool through elementary school, believing in fairy tales and myths, clouding our minds with deception and false facts. Taking a journey on this road constructed with lies that they want you to believe. But there's a limit to lies, and knowledge is unlimited. That's why the Word of God was removed out of schools. That's why praying was removed out of schools, because prayer is truth. The Word of God is truth as well. They took the Word of God out of schools to buy them a little more time with the lies and false information that they wanted to teach to you. Have you ever wondered why most of the information that you've learned in school you're not using today? No, really. Have you ever wondered? Have you ever wondered why most of the information you learned in school you're not using today? It's really simple. Because most of it is irrelevant and is a bunch of propaganda. We are told what to believe, what to do what we're taught, and have faith in what we were taught to believe. And then once we realized what we were taught and told to believe have conflicting outcomes, it's a little bit too late. The same way Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. told Harry Belafonte that he realized that integration was one of the worst ideas in the history of mankind, but he realized it a little bit too late. It's the same way that a lot of people realize that the information that you were told is conflicting. I'm not going to say false, or I'm not going to say it's true. I'm just going to say conflicting. We are shown an image of Jesus Christ depicted as a pale-skinned man with blue eyes, blonde straight hair, carrying a cane and walking with a sheep. And we're told that that's Jesus Christ. We're also shown an image of Jesus Christ depicted as a pale-skinned man with blue eyes, blonde straight hair, nailed to a cross. And we're told that that's Jesus Christ. That is the depiction that America had of Jesus Christ. That is the depiction that was taught in American schools and in most of American churches. That is what people were forced to believe. The image you see in churches, or even the images you look at in many books, or even the Bible, has a visual image of a pale-skinned man with blue eyes and blonde hair. But wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Let's pump the brakes for just a second. Throughout the entire Bible, the description of Jesus Christ is a man with hands, arms, and feet of bronze. His hair is curly as wool. I'm not disputing any facts or making any insinuations. I'm not even making this stuff up. This is actually written. But there's a discrepancy that falls under the category of truth. So if we're reading truth and there's a conflict between what we read versus what we are told and see, there's some sort of contradiction there. Would you agree with me, or would you not agree with me? Don't mind me. I'm just talking. But that's what I mean by being taught a bunch of propaganda and lies, and being told what to do and only do as we're told. Some people don't even care about what Jesus looked like at this point, because they don't want to know the truth. Their mentality is this: if it's not broke, why fix it? If it's not causing any harm, what's the problem? Really? Those are the ones that really are still in denial. But that's not what I really wanted to dive into today, to believe it or not. That was a thought that I was like That was just a thought. And that thought had a lot to do with the point that I was trying to make. And the point was the limited information we were told. And most of the time, the limited information that we're told is conflicting in the first place. Notice I did not say that it was false, or nor did I say it was true. I just shared facts. That's all. And just in case anybody wanted to reference my facts, you can look in the book of Revelations chapter 1, verse 15 through 17. Of course, you know that's not the only place I'm going to have you look, right? Also look in the book of Ezekiel chapter 40, verse 3. I know you didn't think that I was going to just give you two to look up, right? You can also check the book of Daniel chapter 10, verses 5 through 6. But then again, many are going to say, you know what? It doesn't even matter at this point. It doesn't even matter. But then I'll ask you this one last question, since it doesn't matter. If a black child was adopted by two white men that had a pet dog, and the two white men was trying to convince this young black child that the pet dog was his brother, and he also had a cat, and the two white men that was adopting this black young boy said that the cat was his first cousin. Is that truth? Is that the truth that you want to go around believing? I'm going to just leave that with you right there. But there's more knowledge to understand than there's wisdom to learn. In our world today, there's no excuse for us not knowing, especially with the access to all the information that is on the internet. You can practically learn anything you want to know about just by surfing the web. Forget about opening up a book. You don't have to go nowhere to find a book. The books are online. The books are on the internet. You ain't gotta go nowhere. You can learn anything you want to learn about. Just about anything you want to learn. You can learn about trucks. You can learn about cars. You can learn about nature. You can learn about the body. You can learn about the bone. You can learn about you name it, you can learn it, pretty much. It's right there waiting for you to just open up the information. Going to a teacher or a professor or a priest, that's something of the past. Because all the information that you need to know, all the information you want to learn, is right there at your fingertips. You can learn any subject. You can even take up a career. You can even learn theology on the internet. This new way of learning have made it impossible for anyone to lie to you, because the truth is right there at your fingertips. Nowadays, be sure to know what you're talking about and only talk about the things you know, because you don't want to look like a fool talking about things you have no knowledge of. The days of filibustering, making up things, and chucking and jiving are over. Like I said before, either you know or you don't know. You want to learn science? It's right there. You want to learn arithmetic? It's right there. You want to learn social skills? It's right there. You want to learn communication? It's right there, right in front of your face. Matter of fact, they have gotten so smart that they even took the information that was once on a computer and they put it on your phone. So you can take the information right along with you. There's nothing you can't learn about. There's so much to know, but there's not enough to learn. There's no excuses why you cannot learn anything. Which brings me to this point. Instead of us learning, we make half-naked videos. We want to challenge authority, sit there and record them in the process, then we're proving something, making some sort of point. We bicker, we fight like wild cats and wild dogs. Instead of trying to learn something useful, we want to learn the latest dance, watch Love and Hip Hop, watch Power, or the latest episode of Empire. We're so busy talking about any and everything that we don't have time to learn about the things we're talking about, or even go do the research to find out the things that we're talking about is actually true. Half of us have trouble with comprehension, arithmetic, and spelling. We lack social skills, have trouble with interpersonal relationships, not understanding that those basic skills are necessary for us to learn anything else. Instead of using the little knowledge we have to learn something, we would rather focus on trying to use that little bit of knowledge that we have to tear someone else down. We prefer lies over truth, lust over love, sin over righteousness. Some of us even prefer the devil over God. Some men choose another man over a beautiful woman. And some beautiful women choose a woman over a man. Humans are sleeping with animals nowadays. And animals are taking the place of humans. Instead of learning about something, we would rather sit around, smoke weed, pop pills, or drink, or say we get high, getting lifted. Some of us, not every last one of us. We seek pleasure. We don't want to learn anything. But I have news for you. I have a prophecy for you. You better learn how to survive. And you better learn how to choose your battles. Because we are walking into a civil, racial war that is going to be within another war. In other words, there's going to be a war within another war that we start. Racial tension is boiling over in the South. All it's going to take is for the murder of the wrong person. And that's it. God has already shown me this horrible thing that's going to happen. It's going to be sort of like this similar episode of Susan Smith, the lady in Boston, in case anyone didn't know about Susan Smith. It was a Caucasian lady, and she told the authorities that someone had stole her car, kidnapped her kids, and it was a whole bunch of nonsense. She said that they were two black men that did it, and she went on and on with this lie for a long period of time, but then the police was searching and terrorizing, brutalizing, beating up black men, and I don't know if some of them got killed or not, but it was terrible, and it was because of one lying Caucasian husband. Just lied her butt off. She just lied. That lie caused a lot of problems. But that same similar type of lie is going to surface again. And that's what's going to cause this civil racial war here in America. Whether you want to believe it or not. But it's just not up to you to believe. I'm just telling you this is a prophecy. And that's going to happen. Unless you start praying. You pray that this doesn't happen. Because once this start happening, that's it. It's going to be an all-out problem. It's going to be a problem that is going to be uncontrollable. It's going to be something that is going to require for people to actually step in and try to stop. And the ones that try to step in and try to stop it, it's going to be the ones that are going to get slaughtered as well. There's a sick Caucasian man out there that's going to kill a certain group of other Caucasians. And then he's going to blame this murder on a group of African American young men. And when he does that, that's where the war is going to start. That's where the racial war is going to start, right there off of that one lie. And the direction of that problem is going to travel in the direction of places where you don't want them to travel. It's going to be right in your backyard before you know it. And it's going to be bad. So before this racial war take place, I want y'all to be wise. I want y'all to look around and see what's actually happening. And this is not even to mention about the issue that we have going on overseas in these other foreign countries. To all my single sisters out there, I want you to listen to this prophecy. This is prophecy, especially for you. If you're single and you don't have no man around the house, you don't have no one to sit there to protect your young boys from this here onslaught that is boiling over right now, I need you to have a conversation with your young men. I need you to have a conversation with your young boys and tell them just the severity of this here situation that's happening right here in America. This is bad. This is not, there's no good that's going to come out of this. This is bad. This here issue with these white men going in different places in America and saying that they were taking back America They are going to start killing young black men, the gullible ones. They're going to start killing the ones that think they're thugs. They're going to start killing all these young men. And matter of fact, some of the ones that do the killing is going to be the people that you think are not going to be the ones that should be involved. You see right now what's going on. Even the police officers are killing unarmed black men. Even the civilians are killing unarmed black men. Look at Trayvon Martin. Look at all these young black men that's getting slaughtered right now. And the only direction that it's going to go is go worse. And not just getting on your knees praying is going to be enough. You have to do something about it. Speak to these young men and tell them. Tell them to stay off the streets. Tell them to stay out of the way. Tell them to pick and choose their battles wisely. Tell them the people are not playing. These men are not playing. These men are going to start slaughtering these young black men. And I don't want to see it happening. And nobody want to see it happening. There's going to be men that's going to step up. There's also going to be some white men that's going to step up. That's going to do the right thing and help us fight against these other Caucasian men that have no other agenda but to try to destroy a lot of young black men. And we thank y'all in advance for the things that y'all are doing. It's going to be very difficult for us to distinguish between who is going to be who. So if you are with this here issue and you're against this issue, you need to make that known right now. You need to stand up and speak against this here violence that's brewing over. That's your job, my white men. That's your job, my Caucasian men. You got to stand up. You got to go against what's wrong. You have to stand up against the tyranny of this here oppressor that's trying to cause more harm within America. You have to stand out. You have to do whatever you need to do necessary to stop this racial war from happening. You have to do whatever you can to stop it, because there's nothing good that's coming out of this.